Howdy, folks. This is Glenn. Obviously, I forgot to rotate the camera, so you're probably looking at me in one like a little thin strip on your screen. So my bad. I'll try to remember not to do that in the next video. But just thought I'd get on here and just let you know that I couldn't get in my other accounts because somebody hacked into them. There's just no way of getting past that. So figured I'd start up this one and go from there. But main thing is I just want to let you know that yeah, most of the time I'm just gonna be babbling because like I'm probably gonna do here in a few minutes. And sometimes I'll just be in that funky mood where I'll just start belting out a song. And when I do that, try not to laugh too much because I'm gonna try not to butcher them. But yeah, but before we get into this too much, I'd strongly encourage you guys to go over to here on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel called Flatwoods Baptist Church. You just type that up there into the YouTube search bar and just scroll down the list. It shouldn't take you too long, but you're looking for one of them little circles next to a Flatwoods Baptist Church. It'll be of a little white church and stuff. Steve, the classic thing. But yeah, but I'm doing this on my phone, so bear with me. It's not going to be perfect. I'm still kind of new to this, and the things that I do know, well, half the time I forget them, so I'll have to pick them up again. But anyway, yeah. No, I just figured I'd get on here and start talking. And lately I've been seeing a lot of these. It's not that I have a problem with it, but on Facebook, oh, by the way, if you see me roll my eyes or something now and then, it's just one of those things. I had a car accident and stuff, had a little bit of brain injury, so it's just a little tick, and I'm on seizure medicine, and the medicine can't get rid of all the seizures. They're just little mini seizures. So my bad. There's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, getting back to it, I've been on Facebook and stuff, and I've been noticing a lot of these. It's nothing, like I said, it's not that I have a problem with it, because I've seen people posting these little religious, little religious pictures and little videos on there, and and all this stuff, and that's all fine and good, great, more power to you, keep it up. But it's just gotten any more where it's gone overboard. Instead of putting up somebody else's little religious thing, who very well could be wrong, or they may be right. But there's folks out there that don't know their Bible as well as I do, and well, heaven knows that I don't know it the best. But sometimes, I'll spot things on there, and I know they ain't right. But it serves no good to tell the person that posted it there, because, well, they don't care. It sounded nice, so they're gonna put it up there. But I like I was saying though, I see all these things popping up on Facebook. Most of the stuff I got on my Facebook page, that's what it is. And I don't understand why people are so eager to post this kind of thing. But when a person posts something that for a fact is of God, there's no way around it. It's straight from the King James Bible itself. They really don't take much interest in it. Like, for example, I volunteered, here a while back, I volunteered with my church family. I'm like, hey, it's important to get the word of God out there, and well, just it's all fine and good. We've got a great puppet ministry, love it, and everybody, every time they go do a show or something like that, everybody that sees it just enjoys it like nobody's business. Even our home church family, my church family, whenever they do a show for us, it's great. Love it. And everybody that sees it loves it. But I've actually gotten on to I think I've done it. Well, I've gotten on Facebook. I've posted posted little videos of our puppet ministry and stuff, and really, if I'm getting any kind of views out of it, I don't know about it. And it baffles me when something like that gets posted. It seems like nobody wants to watch it or hear it because there's good Christian things in that video. But yet you get up these little simple things, that may very well be wrong. Everybody wants to look at it, comment it, like it, comment, and all this other stuff. It's baffling to me how people are going so nuts over these kinds of things. But you put something good up on there, they really don't. It just doesn't seem like there's much interest. And I find that to be incredibly sad. In these times that we're living in, you'd think that people would be swarming to things of God, like church, videos of like our children's puppet ministry. Heck, every Sunday, well, obviously I've missed a couple of Sundays because I'm either worn out I'm getting ready for winter because I burn wood. Because that's our only form of heat, so, I've been getting wood ready for this winter, and I want to be sure to have enough, so I'm wore out from that, and, yeah, sorry. And there's a variety of other things, because, well, I got a little girl that's about 15 months, I'm sure. Hopefully you was paying attention to my YouTube profile picture because, well, that's my daughter, Harley. As far as I'm concerned, the prettiest girl in the world. I'm running close second to my wife because, well, yeah, she's good looking, but man, that's my daughter, man. That's the best looking girl in the world. But I've gone to the extent, every Sunday, that I'm up to it, and I go to church. What I do is I do a live stream on YouTube. Then almost immediately after I'm done doing this live stream, which by the way, if you do ever watch it, my bad. It's not perfect. I'm working out all the kinks and the bugs. I'm getting it all figured out. I'm dealing with right now my cell phone because, well, it's got unlimited data, so that's the best thing to use, but I gotta hold it by hand. Once in a while, it'll slip out of my hands and I drop it. Once in a while, I might accidentally cover the little speaker part where you can get the sound from, but that never lasts long, And sometimes I'll shake because, well, a cell phone may not seem that heavy for a short time, but it gets that heavy after an hour, 15, 20 minutes or so. So yeah, I'm still in the process of getting the proper equipment, so bear with me. But, I'll, you guys are in my prayers that you guys, sign up, at least watch a few of the videos. I would have, me and everybody at Flatwoods Baptist, we just enjoy it. We'd be happy if you guys would subscribe, because I'll be sure to get videos out there for you, mainly church service, and then there's the special events or whatnot where the puppets are performing and stuff, which you'd have to see to believe. I know there's other churches online that do the same thing, but I guess I'm particularly proud of ours because, well, that's our puppet ministry. But yeah, it just baffles me, like I was saying, though, it kind of baffles me that everybody's so gung-ho on these little short things that are supposedly religious. But like I say, I've seen a lot of them that just ain't biblical. I don't see how a lie can benefit anybody. Sure, they make you all feel warm and squishy and all stuff like that inside, but, well, Satan works in some weird ways, and toying with your emotions just one of them. So yeah, you gotta kind of watch out for that. So, but yeah, It's just one of the things on my mind and stuff. And excuse me for a second. Gotta get me a drink. Don't worry, folks. I'm sober. That ain't beer. That's cream soda. So been trying to slack off. Just completely quit doing that. I'm trying to give up the bad habits I'm doing. But like all of us, I'm only human. All I can do is try. But yeah, you know, it's a chaotic world. I mean, right off the top of my head, I can't give you the exact wording and stuff, but you know, and I know my discussion, my babbling, like I said, it's babbling. It's kind of all over the place. But the more I look around me, the more I look at the world. The TV, everything from TV shows to, you know, there's many churches out there that are just as bad. And a lot of things. It's getting to, I'm seeing a lot of the things that the Bible's been talking about. Not just in Revelations, because a lot of folks have a little hard time to understanding that. Well, at times it ain't quite so clear to me. So when I don't understand something, I'll always go to somebody that does understand it and find out. But all throughout the Bible, that's it. There's places here and there where Christ or one of the disciples or whoever, they make a direct statement that refers specifically to to the final days, the latter times, the end times, whatever you want to call it. And honestly, I'm not going to try to predict a date because, well, if flat out says you can't do that there in Revelations, I ain't going to even try. Not even Christ knows the day. The Holy Spirit don't know the day. There ain't a man alive that could even predict the day. The only one that knows the time when Christ is going to come back is God himself. It says so right up in there. All the Bible gives us is kind of the things we need to be looking for and the signs. And, I'm seeing a lot of them. I know they've been saying this all throughout the history, even back in Jesus' day, and in the Old Testament, they thought it was the last days. They swear to you that, hey, he could return at any given second. We're in the final days. But never in history have all of the signs that the Bible has given us been more present and evident than they are right now. I mean, we got the strange things happening out in space, in the sky, with the stars and the sun, the moon, and all that good stuff. We got wars. We got rumors of wars. We got millions of people and hundreds and thousands more every day turning away from God and what they know is right. And that's just a few things that I can think of off the top of my head. I honestly believe that we're in the final times. I can't say this for sure, but that's just my train of thought. I'm just comparing what I'm seeing to what the Bible's saying. And it's just, I don't know why, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just important to me that I get the word out to every person that might be lost out there as quickly as I can, because in the event that I might be right or close to right, I don't want to see anybody when the Lord does come down. I don't want to. It's not going to bring me any pleasure to see anybody left behind when Christ comes back to rapture is, or he comes back for the church as it's put. I don't want to see none of that. It's not going to bring me any joy for me to be zapped instantly into heaven. And on the way up, I have to see people that I care about left behind, or anybody else for that matter. But it's going to happen. It's not going to bring me any joy, and I just want to get the word out while there's still time. But, yeah, there's just so many things going on in this world that so closely compare to what's in the Bible and what has been predicted for years and telling us it's going to happen. It's not even funny anymore. But yeah, I just figured I'd get this video out there and just kind of share my point of views. And as soon as something pops into my head, you know what? I'm going to spout it off like now. Cause like, well, I'm only reading 15 minutes or so, so I ain't done babbling yet. You know, there's also a bunch of other things on. But getting off the religious stuff for a minute here, there's other things on Facebook I ain't such a big fan of. Like these, like everybody's on Trump's case. You know what? I'm 36 years old, so obviously I haven't seen that very many presidents run through the White House. But you know what? From the ones that I have seen run through there, and the ones I do remember seeing run through there, by far Trump everybody's coming down on him the worst. You know, honestly, I think the guy could do this country a whole lot of good if everybody just back off of him and let him do it. I mean, I think he'd do a lot of good. I honestly believe that he'd do exactly what he said he'd do. But nobody's letting him. You got all these liberals and Democrats up there in Washington, and they're fighting him tooth and nail. And now you got them. Now you got them Democrats and liberals jumping on all the Republicans up there, which clearly have no backbone. Because if they did, they'd say, you know what, we're the larger group here. Our president's on our side. We're going to get things done. But no, they're giving in. They're wussing out, and nothing's going to get done. And who's going to take the fall and the blame for it? It's going to be Trump, but it's not his fault. He can only do so much. It ain't right what the American people are doing, and the American people that are against Trump don't even realize that they are cutting their own throats. I mean, seriously? You want to allow Muslims into this country? You want to help them? Okay, that's all fine and good. Helping a person, that's all fine and good. Except when that person's out to destroy you. Why would you? If someone comes up to you with a gun ready to blow your brains out, they go to pull the trigger and realize it ain't got no bullets in it. Click, blam, nothing happens. Doesn't make a lot of sense to say, hold on a minute, sir. Your gun's unloaded. Here's a bullet. Put this in there and try it. Well, essentially, that's what most of America's doing with these Muslim people. I mean, I'm not against the Muslim faith. That's their deal. That's their problem. I know how I believe. They know how they believe. That's all fine and good. They can do their own thing. I'm going to do mine. But when their thing makes it to where I can't do mine, we got a problem. And I ain't gonna sit back and take it. I mean, a lot of these people are over there, they're raping children. Seriously? And you want to take the chance in releasing these people into our country. You don't know them. It's impossible to vet them properly. Heck, I've heard the government officials say this more than once. Many times, in fact. There's just so many of them, it's impossible to go through each and every one, find out who they are, how they think, and all this other good stuff. There's just no way they can do it. And besides that, there's practically no paperwork on any of them. Yeah, sure, you might have paperwork, but there's no telling if it's accurate. They want to come in here. They're trying to force us to go their route. They want to get in here and slowly and surely force everyone to think, act, and believe the way they do. You know, 7, 8, 9 wives, that ain't no problem. Yeah, that's biblical. I dare you to show me where the Bible says you can do that. And they want to institute the Sharia law. Well, quite truthful, folks, I don't know much about it, but from what I have heard about it, it's no good. They want to get in here and tell women, hey, you ain't allowed to do, say, or think anything unless your man or a family member, whoever tells you can do that. Well, I don't see how that goes along with America's principles, the way we think and believe. I don't see how that works at all. And well, shoot, they're like I say, them people are marrying 7 or 8 wives or more, less, whatever the guy decides. Age, well, that's not a big deal to them. I guess from the way I understand the stuff and a little bit of research I've done on these crazy people, I guess if I'm not mistaken, from what I've learned, they can start marrying little girls at the age of 7. Okay, I guess I must be wired like not Muslim, because I just can't see doing that for myself. I can't see any red-blooded male anywhere wanting to do that. It's sick, and well, frankly, I have my own thoughts on how them people should be dealt with. And trust me, how they need to be dealt with is a lot worse than what they're going to do to that poor little girl. But I don't understand people wanting to fight for these people. I'm not calling them all bad, because they're not. I mean, you can't judge an entire group of people based on the dumb actions of a few. It ain't right, but we gotta protect ourselves here. I mean, yeah, it's great. You let them in, thinking you're helping them. But what about the few bad ones that slip past under the radar? We're not gonna see them come in. We're going to have pedophile Muslim men running around here raping American children. And they'll get away with it because, well, it's their culture, it's belief. It's their belief, and, well, unfortunately for us, if they were to become citizens, that means our Constitution stuff falls on. They can go by that too, and religious freedom's one of those. So, if we go to let them people in here, we're in trouble. Especially if we put them up as citizens. I feel sorry for the good ones. But as far as I'm concerned, ship them all back to wherever it was that they came from. If Canada wants them, well, here you go. You can have all ours. We don't want them. We don't need them. There's too much of a risk there that there's the few that are bad are going to get out and cause a lot of bad things to happen here. Not to mention, well, you thinking like one of them extreme Islamic terrorists, whatever you want to call them. If I were one of those, well, shoot, that's my golden ticket right there. I'm slipping right into America with them refugees, and I'm gonna impersonate one. They got no way to prove who I am, what I'm thinking about, what I want to do. I can lie through my teeth, make my way into the country, and wipe out all the so-called infidels that I want. And just kind of slip into the crowd. Hold on a minute. Woke up this morning with some dry throat. Don't know if it's just my medicine doing it, or heart pills or whatever, or if I'm just coming down with something, but either way. But, and so I got no problem with Trump wanting to keep these people out. As far as I'm concerned, like I say, ship them all home. Let them deal with their own problems. Because who are we to try to help someone else out? Which is a great and fine idea, when we can't even help ourselves out. I mean, number one, we're taking a huge risk even allowing them in here, and because it puts every American in danger, not to mention all of our little kids. And number two, um, how are we going to help them when we can't even help ourselves? I mean, think about it. Can you think of a large city anywhere? I'm talking not small town America, of course. I'm not saying that's not happening in some of them too. But I can't think of a single large city that ain't got one heck of a homeless problem. I can't think of a city or a town in this country that don't have at least one vet in it that ain't been ain't getting treated like they ought to be, or given what they were promised when they went over to wherever it was to fight for our freedom. I don't, you know. Plus, there's millions of children out there in our own country starving, or very, you know, either that or not getting the proper meals. I have personally seen entire families that were homeless living under bridges. I have personally seen this with my own eyes. At the time, well, when I seen it, I didn't. All the time I'm thinking about, I only had like $50 in my billfold. But this mother, father, 3 kids, you could clearly tell they were American. We're staying alongside, like on an off ramp, because I was getting off the interstate. Oh shoot, I think it was I-90 or something like that. I can't recall. But as I came up to the stop sign there, I seen them, and they said, I can't find work, have no home, need help. You know what? I might have been slightly low on fuel, but you know what? I can find I can find a way to get fuel. I had enough to get to where I was going. You know, and so I rolled down my window real quick, and I pulled up my billfold, and I hollered over there. I'm like, "Hey, sir." The father they came up to the window, and I'm like, "I know what it's like. I've been in your place. I gave that man the $50 bill." He says, he thanked me and everything, just continuously, along with his wife. And he says, I feel bad for asking this, sir, but we're a little ways away. None of us have eaten in like a day and a half, 2 days. I told him to jump on in, and I took him down to the local McDonald's, and to a McDonald's nearby, and dropped them off and said, "There, you guys go get something to eat." But that's just one example, and there's thousands of more. There's thousands more out. There's thousands of the cases like that out there, if not more. And it's just crazy, and we're wanting to offer like these illegal aliens that everybody's wanting to make a big deal out of. They're coming in. They're coming in across all borders. They're slipping over the Mexican border. They're coming in on the east and west coast. They come from Somalia, I guess. I think that's what it was called. I can't remember. I was looking at it just a few minutes ago. I swear. You got some Mexicans slipping over the border and stuff like that. And all these illegal aliens, plus these refugees they all come in here, and they think that they are entitled to welfare. They think they are entitled to free housing. They want everything for free. I'm not saying all them illegal aliens are bad, because, well, I've seen a few good ones. I ain't gonna judge the whole group of them based on a few. Or I'm not gonna call them all bad when there's still a few good ones, but for the most part, I'd say 75, maybe 80%. Just keep in mind, these are my numbers. This is my approximation. But, 75-80% of these illegal aliens that come in, they don't want it free. All the refugees, they want it free. And who's stuck with the bill? That's the American taxpayer. We can't even help our own people. But yet you got these crazy Americans over here wanting to help all these illegals and refugees out when we're not even helping out our own. What are they thinking? For some reason, it just seems to me that these people so willing to help these refugees and illegal aliens out must have something up their sleeve. They all must have they must have one thing in common. What that is, there's no telling. Personally, well, I think they want to take down the United States just from the inside. It seems to me like it just seems to me like America's turning into the world's dumping place. That's all it is. We're taking any Tom, Dick, or Harry, or Sue, or Jane, or whoever that wants to come in, giving them for everything for free, not asking for nothing in return. Our welfare is out there for a dang good reason, and that's to help the Americans who actually need it. There's low-income families like myself. Me and my wife, we're not rich. Well, I control all the budgeting and finances in the house. Make sure we all got what we need and all this good stuff. But looking at my budget book and our income, I know for a fact that there ain't no way I can afford to pay doctor bills. There ain't no way I could afford to pay for the the medicines and stuff, because, well, our pharmaceuticals are the highest, as far as I know of, in the world. And as far as the food goes, well, shoot, after I'm done paying bills, that doesn't leave us much extra cash after that's done. So ain't no way I could put food on the table that way, and I'm unable to work. For some reason, the doctors think I'm a high risk. Well, my wife, well, I'll tell you, sometimes I wonder if she ain't borderline crazy from the bipolar. But hey, since moving away from Iowa, I have to admit it's gotten a little better, but there's still those moments. But I got her to worry about. I got my daughter to worry about. You know what? There's just no way me being an American, could make it without these assistance programs, like with the food stamps and the and the Medicaid and stuff. Those things are lifesavers. I don't like being on them. I hate it. If I was allowed to work, God knows I would, because I'd be doing a whole lot better off financially at a job than I would be as I am. And I'm not the only person that has to deal with this kind of thing. There are millions of other Americans out there in the same boat that I am. And, well, these are American families that really need the help. But as it sits, if our government and all these other people, all the other citizens out there that want to give all this help to these illegal immigrants and refugees have their way about it, they're going to welcome in every illegal alien, give them all the free things that they ask for, and then some. Oh, and that same goes for the refugees. That money's got to come from somewhere. And I can guarantee you, I think I know where it's going to come from. Well, that's kind of an oxymoron, guarantee, and I think, well, you get the point either way. But I think that money's going to come out of the welfare systems, such as the food stamps, Medicaid, other little programs, odds and ends that they have available for the low-income folks here. That money's going to come out of them funds. And I'm pretty sure that at some point when those funds are depleted, they're going to start attacking the Social Security disability. They're going to start attacking the SSI until them funds are next to nothing or all gone. Which means at some point they're going to reduce the amount of help that they're giving actual citizens of this country. Just so they're able to support these other people that really don't have any right to be here. So, mark my words, things keep going as they have been. America's in trouble, folks. It doesn't take no rocket scientists to figure this out. And, I mean, I love the country. I love America. Don't get me wrong. For heaven's sake, don't get me wrong. I do. Actually, when the Twin Towers fell, I went to a recruiting office, and they wouldn't accept me for the simple fact is I told the recruiter that I fully intend on shooting anything not wearing the same uniform as I am. And the recruiting officer said, "Sorry, I would love to take you, but I can tell you right now they're never going to accept you." I asked him, "Why is that?" He flat out says, "Our government don't fight wars the way they used to. They'd rather leave as many of the enemy alive as they can. That's why wars are taking so long now. It's because our soldiers are afraid of the way he made it sound. I could be wrong, but our soldiers aren't supposed to be shooting unless they're shot at first, in which case, well, the way he made it sound, they're not allowed to shoot to kill." But I'm sorry, dry throat, getting a little scratchy there. And it's gotta be my favorite pop besides Coke. But it's just, I know I'm kind of bouncing here and there and I'm all over the place. It's just, I should have made a list of things to talk about before I started this thing. I just spaced it off. My bad, it'll happen again. A lot. But, the way people, a lot of people, I don't see them thinking like they've got a brain in their head. Yeah. It just baffles me. It just leads me to think that the Bible wasn't, maybe, well, I've always known that it was right. Heck, even modern scientists are figuring this out now. But, everything that's happening right now, it's in the King James Bible, which, as a side note, is, as far as I'm concerned, the closest thing to the original Hebrew and Greek that we have. Any other translation, you can find fault in them. They're adulterations of the truth. But we'll get off that subject for now, because when it comes to Bible and how it's taught and stuff, I'm a little particular, and frankly, it kind of gets under my skin when I hear it ain't done right. But we've got a lot of problems here. We need it, like Trump says, America first. We can't go thinking about anybody else or their well-being and all this good stuff until we get ourselves up on our feet again. And I'll tell you, I seen something on the internet here, yesterday, the day before, about Trump having these prayer meetings. Good. Because a lot of people are not even aware that the founding fathers of this country were, they didn't believe that you could call yourself an American unless you either went to church or you were an acting member of your church. They didn't believe you could call yourself an American. Heck, most of the original, I can't remember how many of them there are, but most of the original congressmen and all that stuff, most of those folks were acting members of their church. Heck, back when we got founded and stuff, I can guarantee you every single school that kids went to learn things, I guarantee you, they were teaching religion in them things.
They were in the church.
And all that good stuff. All them kids was doing good. It's it was a lot less crime, practically a zero crime rate. Things were going well. Everybody was prospering. Everything was as it should be. But lo and behold, Christianity started making a slip. And with each year that passes, it starts slipping a little bit more. You know, ungodly things are getting to be the norm. They're getting to be okay. They've taken Christianity. They've wiped Christianity out of schools. They're marrying queers and lesbians, which, well, that's not biblical by any means. You know, they've made it acceptable and okay and a thing to be admired in a lot of cases, you know, to murder babies. Yeah, it's called abortion. That's what you're doing. And all this other stuff. These are things that are now okay, but yet you go talking Christianity or religion to someone face to face, you get laughed at. The people will look down their noses at it. They'll call you every name under the sun. And all this other stuff. Like the Bible said, evil will become good, and good will become evil. It's right there in the Bible. I mean, heck, sorry about shaking. I had to switch hands. My left arm was wearing out a bit. But you'll have that a lot. But yeah, the mumbling, if you hear it in the background, it's my wife. She's just trying to get her voice in here.
No,
I'm not listening anyway, but you know, I got my own thinking. But you know, these are things, they bother me more than most people know. Dang light behind me, I can't see myself. But you know, there's America could be great again, but I think the only way that'll ever happen is if we put God back in. You know, we put people in leadership roles that are strong Christians and ain't afraid to say so, and they ain't afraid to hold to the Christian values. That's the only way this country's gonna get back in line again. Cause I mean, America's already past the point of Sodom and Gomorrah, and if you haven't heard that story, it's in the Bible. Go ahead and read it. It's the only way, because I could never do it justice. The only way you're going to get the full truth out of that one, because I got a horrible memory, would be to read it for yourself. And remember, the King James is the best way to do it. If you have questions, well, my name's the same name you typed in to get to this channel. The same name you got to type in on Facebook. Private message me. Send me a friend request on Messenger, man. I'll go into detail about everything. But yeah, but I mean, it's the world's gone crazy, and it's only going to get worse from here. As much as everybody seems to think, oh, this is all it's going to take to make things better. You think again, it's going to take a lot more than what you think it's going to take. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably boring you out, but not all the videos be like this. I'm sure I'll be doing some funny stuff, or trying to butcher up a song. Everybody seems to think I got a voice and I can sing, but I don't hear it. But so at some point I might scare you to death with that. But yeah, but like I say, you know, I strongly encourage you to go over to the Flatwoods Baptist YouTube page and you know, check out a few of them videos. I'll be posting one, you know, every Sunday. You know, unless I don't make it for whatever reason. And whenever possible, you know, if they got one of our, you know, our puppets do a ministry or something like that, I'll be out there posting that up here. You know, on YouTube when as far as the Flatwoods videos go. I do them all live, and immediately afterwards I'll post them on my Facebook page and everything. But yeah, it's gone crazy, and like I said before, I think we're at the end. I think we're at the beginning of the end. So yeah, if you ain't born again and you're not saved, or if you're not 100% sure that you're on your way to heaven, I mean, you need to be fixing that. I mean, like now. And all you got to do to do that is just go in prayer and say, God, or Heavenly Father, I know I am a sinner. I know I deserve to die and go to hell, but I do know, without a doubt in my mind, that Jesus died on that cross to save me from having to do that. He took my place. He paid for my sins. And I ask now, will you please come into my heart? Will you make me one of yours? And will you please forgive me and wash away my sins? And then you go to Jesus in Jesus' name. I pray, amen. If you do something like that, or a prayer very similar, you know where where you're headed. I'd like to see you up there when I meet my Lord. I want you to be right there with me, doing it with me. You know but that'll get you to heaven. It's also important to go to a church that does do baptism. And that's full submersion in water. Sprinkling don't count because that's not baptism. But I mean, yeah, you'll still go to heaven without doing that. But it's still kind of an important sign to be. You know, it's still an important thing to be getting baptized. I mean, Christ got baptized by John the Baptist, so we got to kind of follow his lead and do the same thing. And so, but yeah. But anyway, I suppose I best get off of here so I can kind of watch this thing for myself and see how crazy I made myself look. And like I say, I can't stress enough. I'd love to see you go. I'd love to hear about you watching Flatwoods Baptist YouTube channel. I mean, hopefully you like what you see and stuff. And yeah, I'm doing the videos on the same phone I'm using for this, so obviously it's not going to be perfect, but hey, it's a matter of time until I'm able to afford better equipment and whatnot, and we'll make them look a lot better. But anyway, and y'all take care, and God bless, and keep your stick in the ice. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.